What if I told you that we don't all inhabit the same reality? What if the world you experience, whether it feels like a struggle or like a dance, isn't actually determined by your circumstances, but by the level of consciousness you're looking from? Okay, let's dive into this hidden map of the mind.
This quote, it just hits the nail on the head, right? The core idea here is so powerful. It's not about fighting your reality. It's about shifting your vantage point. Just like the slide says, when you change the floor you're standing on, the entire world you see changes right along with it.
So what we're about to go through is exactly that, a map. Think of it as a guide to your own inner architecture. It doesn't just show you where you are right now, but it also reveals the stairs, the path that leads to a completely different way of being.
To make this all feel a bit more tangible, let's use a central metaphor. I want you to imagine your mind is a 7-story building. Now, the source material suggests that most people are born, live their lives, and die on the bottom floors, some even in the basement, where the view is, let's face it, pretty limited, and fear is basically the air you breathe.
So here they are. These are the 7 floors on our map. We kick things off at the very bottom with victim consciousness. Then we start to climb, moving up through warrior and achiever. And then comes this huge, massive turning point at intention, before we soar up to these incredible vistas of flow, unity, and finally, at the very top, being. All right, let's begin the climb.
So these first 3 levels, victim, warrior, and achiever, we can kind of group them together. These are the floors of the ego. The fundamental belief here, and it doesn't matter if you feel powerless or powerful, is that your peace, your worth, and your happiness all come from something outside of you.
This slide just lays it out so perfectly, doesn't it? On the one hand, you have the victim, feeling totally powerless, thinking life just happens to me. But then there's this big leap. On the other side, you can feel the energy of those 2nd and 3rd floors, the warrior and the achiever. Their whole mantra flips to, I make life happen. This is that moment you discover willpower, that drive to go out and win.
But, and this is a huge but, here's the crucial point. For all their power, the warrior and the achiever are still living in what the source calls a golden cage. Their peace, it's temporary. It lasts right up until the next battle. And their self-worth, man, it's fragile. It's completely tied to their latest victory, their newest accomplishment. It's a life of constant, exhausting effort.
And that brings us to the 4th floor. This is the great pivot point of the whole building. I mean, this is where everything changes. It's where you stop reacting to the world, you stop trying to conquer it, and instead, you start consciously creating it from the inside out. The whole game is about to shift. In the shift, it all starts with this one revolutionary question. After years of fighting battles and chasing goals, you look at the emptiness of an external victory and just ask yourself, what if the power I've been looking for out there has actually been in here the whole time?
The answer to that question is the law of reflection. This is the big aha moment. It's the understanding that your external reality, it's not some solid, separate thing. It's a direct mirror of your internal state of being. The world isn't something you get things from. It's something that reflects who you are.
And you know, this changes everything, right down to the words you use. A level 3 achiever sets a goal, which is an external destination. I want to get the promotion. But a level 4 creator sets an intention, which is an internal quality of being you can express right now. I choose to be an embodiment of value and leadership. See the difference? The goal puts happiness way off in the future. The intention finds it right here in the present.
Once you make that crucial shift from goal to intention, you've basically just unlocked the upper floors. This is a whole new world. This is the world of being, and it's defined by effortless action, a deep sense of trust, and this profound connection to all of life.
Moving up to level 5, we discover flow. At this level, you realize life is kind of like a great river. The warrior on the lower floors is always trying to row against it, forcing their will. But in flow, you learn to surrender to that intelligent current. You stop trying to make things happen, and you start allowing them to happen, effortlessly navigating with your intuition as a guide. The struggle just dissolves. From flow, we arrive at level 6, unity. And this is a really profound shift. It's the direct experience that the separation between you and the universe is an illusion. I love the saying, you aren't just a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a single drop. In this state, that deep, fundamental feeling of being alone, it just completely disappears.
And finally, we arrive at the penthouse, level 7, being. This is where you discover your ultimate identity.
You realize you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your body. As this slide says, that's all just passing weather. Your true nature is the vast, silent, peaceful sky in which all of that experience happens. You are simply pure, unchanging awareness.
So, what does it actually mean to live from this peak? Well, it's not about abandoning the lower floors or getting rid of those parts of yourself. It's about integration. A true master can still access the discipline of the warrior and the strategy of the achiever, but they do so from a place of deep trust and surrender, anchored in that deep peace of being.
This table just synthesizes the whole journey so beautifully. You can really see the shift in the core energy and the key question at each stage. So the ego floors are all focused on getting, asking, what can I get? That turning point of intention shifts to creating, asking, who do I choose to be? And the upper floors of being are all about expressing, driven by the natural question, how can I serve?
And that leaves us with one final, incredibly powerful question. This is the tool that turns this entire map from just information into a daily practice. In any situation, any challenge, big or small, you can pause and ask yourself this. From what level of consciousness do I choose to respond to this moment? Your answer changes everything.